of the Economic Growth and Development Committee. There are no minutes. Wayne would like to bring up an issue, and then followed by Ed. Wayne.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It has come, I did not schedule a meeting, and I was glad to see that this was on the schedule. There is, the county was awarded funding under a hazard mitigation grant to develop a hazard mitigation plan. And as part of that whole process, the planning department is providing GIS services. I believe this is a $100,000 grant, and our part of it is $20,000. And we have been basically billing, if you want to call it that, the Office of Emergency Services $4,000 a quarter, and it was over a 5-quarter timeline. The state is required, for reimbursement purposes, that we have an interdepartmental MOU. The county attorney has drafted that. It's only committee recognition. It's not a full board requirement that this committee recognizes that we're providing those services, which we said in the grant application we would provide, and it's just a way to formalize it for the reimbursement package from the city, or from the state. So I would ask the committee to endorse that process.
Okay, Supervisor Wood from the Maple capital of the North Country, and Supervisor Montesi seconds that. All in favor?
Aye.
Approved.
The second thing, I just would like to inform the committee, and I did send the committee chair an email. I will be out of the office from April 1st to the 2020 couple. My wife has medical appointments in Florida, and I will be there with her. Then when I get back, I will take up residence for a couple days at Hotel Glens Falls for deal with something of my own. So I'll be out of the office till probably the 23rd or 24th. I will be accessible by email and phone. We did this last fall when my wife had medical appointments and treatment in Florida. And you know, I check emails daily and talk to the office every day. So I'll be in touch. So if anybody needs anything, you know, just send me an email and I'll respond. The only time is that when we're at the medical facility, I have to shut the phone off. So they frown on the electrical interference. So, but I just wanted to inform the committee of that.
Thank you very much, Wayne. Good luck.
Thanks.
Ed?
Yes, good morning. I'm just going to pass out the annual 2015 report, and I can email it.
Thank you, Ed.
I can email this to you as well, so I have that. And I'm not going to go through the 2015 as history at this point. I am going to have you turn your attention to page 14 on these items to talk about 2016. And 2016, there are a number of activities that we want to continue. If you go to the top of page 2016 for program, obviously the key priority here in Warren County, we continue that is to retain jobs as well as to create jobs. It's an old adage, but it's still true that the majority of new jobs that are being created in the Northeast are from expansion of existing businesses. And we continue to do a two-track effort of looking to create new jobs, of bringing new industry in or relocating or expanding of a second facility. But also it's very important to continue the retention aspects as well as working for those industries, to talk to them, to see what their needs are through our site visitations, whether it is an infrastructure need of increased water, sewer needs. Queensbury is going through those issues right now with businesses looking at when you're going to have sewer. A water pressure area that deals with your fire insurance rating, or it may be simply as some permitting where we will step in and provide some assistance. What we want to make sure is that we will cap and top all of our top 30 manufacturers or businesses within Warren County, principally to look at them in terms of the supply chain. In addition to seeing what we can be of help to that local industry or manufacturing, to see an inquiry of them to see if there's a particular vendor in the supply chain that is located X number of miles away in another state, that if there would be a benefit of talking to that supply chain, of moving that supply chain closer to the targeted industry here in Warren County or nearby. That's a concept that works very well with warehousing. We've seen the effort in Saratoga where they are able to assemble 900 acres to 1,000 acres and have a dollar warehouse. They kind of jumped the gun and announced that it was going to Saratoga for a 900,000 square foot building. It's actually going to Montgomery County. That's where you have to be careful when you're making these grandiose announcements. It's kind of like getting your first job. You wait till you get your check and it's cashed before you kind of say that you're employed, for that. So that's very important. So that's an effort that we started last year, and we're going to intensify that issue in the supply chain. And that means, anywhere from hardware to software types of things to areas related to the paper industry as well. As an example, we're talking with Finch in a couple of different local businesses that are heavily involved in paper for containers and other products, but they're using products from outside the area. So again, what we're trying to do is match up to see if there's our greatest assets in our area, to see if we can match them up with other industries in the particular area. Key priority for the overall county is to continue to seek assistance from the state and federal government for unserved and underserved areas of broadband in the area. And like in many areas now, and Wayne experiences just like we do, is that there is not a one-stop fix for this information. You can't go to the state of New York and expect that they're going to provide 100% funding for broadband to serve underserved or served areas if you want to have substantial funds. So it's going to be a combination of working with state funding. It's going to be a combination of working with the Federal Communication Commission. It's going to be a combination of working with local providers. And also there will be a local share required from municipalities and or from the county respectively. There's just not going to be any way out that. We're in the process of ascertaining our options to see how we can pull this together. Some areas there may be a continuation of the white space that Evelyn was successful in obtaining funds for, yet currently in this round of funding from the state of New York, white space is not an eligible program or project in this particular round. We're hoping to broaden that so that the community will have another option to take a look at. We have received the funding and will be commencing shortly. The county has provided their two names to be representative on the committee for Exit 20 study, John, and we'll just need your two people that obviously I think will be serving on that as well, so that we could start that and get that study completed by the end of the year, so we could start looking for funding for recommendations for 2017. One of the things that we need to really look at on a comprehensive matter is that we have 9 exits on the interchange on Interstate 87, from exit 18 to exit 27, or 26. 26 is kind of a hybrid because part of it gets into Scroon, but another part, loops back into the Pottersville area. So what we're really looking to do with a number of our inquiries, particularly from the state, is to focus on those exits that have different uses and varieties and put together and assemble a portfolio to submit to the state of New York so that we can show from exit 25, 26 that there is potential areas, particularly off of the Chestertown exit on both sides that leads into Horicon, as areas for development as the nearby Peckham, right down on Route 9 in the Hamlet area there too. So what we're going to do is put together a portfolio and some mapping and put together some uses for those particular pieces of property.
Ed,
Go ahead.
Just a quick question. Where do we stand with Hager boats? Are they,
I'm getting to that.
okay, you are,
I'm
okay.
getting-
I've got another meeting to attend. but I
Okay,
just
it's not
wanted
gonna be
to
long, I'm gonna wrap this up because Peter's ready to throw the gavel here, at me. We are gonna be implementing, the Lake Champlain, Lake George Loan Fund and EDC of $500,000. This year, we're working with Senator Little and the Lake George Chamber on Adirondack, Gateway entrance, between exit 17 and 18, the tourist center in that area. Our efforts is to do additional collaboration with the Warren County Tourism under the chair of Gene Merlino, and also with the Arts and Entertainment region. We want to assist in efforts in bringing regional fly-in, that we're trying to work for a July 2017 fly-in in July. That was the best date that the tourism had selected, working with the various hotels in the area. There's a number of other projects. We want to work with the new owners of 1,000 Acres Ranch Resort that are in need of some infrastructure, including broadband in the area. We want to continue to work with SUNY at Adirondack for their workforce development, the center that Dr. Duffy is putting together, along with the assistance of the Startup New York program. On the Hacker Boat itself, Hacker Boat, and it's in here, Ron, on page, let me tell you what page that is on. It is on page, I'll catch that in a second here, is the fact that Hacker Boat, in the contract, and we mentioned this in the past, in their contract and in their deed when we sold the 3 parcels to them, it stated, unless they have a building permit by September of 2016, or they started or construction, EDC had the option to repurchase the property at the same price that we sold the property to. We reached out to Hacker Boat since they are not obtaining the permit, and I've mentioned before that they are looking at other sites in Queensbury, that we asked if they had any objection to us exercising that option early. They replied a couple of weeks ago. They did not. We have closed on that property, and EDC repurchased that property at the same price as it was sold, which was $75,000. So EDC is now the owner of that property, and we will be commencing a marketing campaign for those 3 particular lots. So that is now owned back in our hands.
And those are the lots along the airport, right?
Those are in the Queensbury Business Park. So that has been complete, and it's back in that particular piece of property. That's my summary, Ron, and I'll give you right here on page 5. Top of page 5 is when I have listed the outcome of Hacker Boat.
Thank you very much, Ed. It goes without saying that, everyone that runs for political office at some point in time gets faced with the following observation. Find me reasonably paying jobs where my kids can go to work when they graduate from school. And so it's a difficult job, it's a hard job, but Ed, we thank you for your efforts.
Thank you. It's a cooperative effort. It's a team effort, ranging from the respective town supervisors, the county, and the various businesses in the Chamber of Commerce's to do it.
The supervisor from Chester, the land of rocks and water.
And marijuana.
And it seems, looking at the fish report, a lot of fish, too.
Best kept secret. So, a growing partnership with Adirondack Gateway Council. So, what's your hopes with that?
The hopes is the Gateway Council was able to utilize the final costs that we had in our budget to supplement the broadband study for Warren County as well as to Washington County. We also were able to so we will continue that role of working with Warren, Washington, and our friends in Hadley, Corinth, and Moreau, where it's appropriate and it's financially feasible for everybody to work together on the broadband and cell. The second area is affordable housing, and what we are able to do there is utilize that report to seek from the state of New York a grant for a first-time homebuyers program, which expanded the program beyond the city of Glens Falls. So for the first time, and it's a small little start, baby steps here, there will be a total of 5 houses that will be available through eligible recipients that will be able to be eligible to obtain and buy a house outside the city of Glens Falls. And my feeling is that if we are successful with this program, we will be able to expand that program considerably throughout, Warren County. Housing needs are available and needed in every community in, Warren County. The state looked at our Adirondack Gateway report on the affordable housing, and we were able to show them the need existed. If we hadn't had that survey, it would have been difficult, to be honest with you, Craig, to be able to expand that. They would have liked the idea of the regional collaboration and so forth, but we had the data, and that's one of the benefits of the Adirondack Gateway Council, was putting together the various reports and the consultants that we had in the affordable housing area. Another area that we hope to work on is in the area of transportation. That report did show that, to our surprise, there is many more transportation options available than originally thought, but it's not being coordinated in the communities right now. So the next effort in the group is still continuing to be involved with the social services and the health networks to see how we can better program and make those things available. But in smaller towns, we have found that it is the churches, it is the senior citizen centers, and it is the town supervisors that have been working and coordinating and making these transportation necessary. Where we've run in the shortfall is the number of vehicles. Now, there are capital monies for buses, but where the shortfall is in the operating side of paying. You gotta pay a bus driver in those areas, and that's where one of the shortcomings of any funding right now in the state is finding and coordinating that particular program. Another area that we are working on is in the agricultural area. Our agriculture here is a little bit different than Washington County, but nonetheless, through organic farming, as well as the terrific maple syrup that is housed right up there in Thurman and Company, is areas we want to be able to promote that more. Through the efforts of Cornell, they are putting together on 11 county basis a brochure and pamphlet of showing all local farmers, those farmers that are willing to participate in farmers markets, as well as other information in restaurants that are offering. The difficulty there is going to be is keeping this updated on a regular basis. So what we propose to do is for the Gateway Council is to take that information and focus in on Warren, Washington, and northern Saratoga County, and supplement that some information. I believe there's something like 9 or 10 restaurants in the Glens Falls, Queensbury area that are using local products, but many of the others in outlying areas of Warren County have that, but they just don't, they're just not a mechanism to be promoting that now. But we're finding more and more people are asking, what stores are selling, or what restaurants are offering the local products into that. And we want to continue. The maple syrup industry is continuing to grow in Warren County, and we want to work with Mike Hill, who's the legislative person from maple syrup. Always reminds me that is a non-paying position. That somehow we need to work with our franchises that are located here. Go to Denny's and have sweet enhanced maple syrup is not our idea of promoting local products here. So that's one of our efforts for that. That's one of our efforts, is to try to get more of our local products in the stores, as well as the farmers markets. We again are looking to apply for a regional farmers market. There's about 34 farmers markets between Washington, Warren, and northern Saratoga County in the area. And we want to see if we can get a Department of Ag grant to promote that. Pat Tedish, as the founder of the farmers market in Glens Falls back in '73 or '4, with Chris Scoville and Doc Joseph, hopefully will provide some more guidance. I thought we had the grant 2 years ago, but you never can count on that. The Secretary of Agriculture is a graduate of Albany Law School. We went and met with him. We had great, follow-up from Senator Schumer, but I said, we're in. We didn't get it. So
Like your first job,
we're
catching the
gonna-
first
That's
check.
right, don't cash that check.
We're gonna try that, we're gonna try that again, so. Those are some of the areas that
Okay.
we're picking up.
So you're still
from the-
working
oh, absolutely.
extensively
Yep.
with it?
Yes,
Okay,
we
good.
are. Yep.
Thank you very much, Ed. You know, it's interesting, the maple syrup scenario, the uniqueness of going to Thurman or going to parts of the North Country for the real deal, real maple syrup, and then you walk into a supermarket and you look at a label, and the label attempts to give you the impression that it came out of a tree in Thurman when it actually came out of a faucet in Milwaukee or something, you know. So it's I can appreciate that. Do you have something, Mr. Chairman, that you wanted to do at this meeting, or was it the next one? Next one, okay, great. Go ahead, Wayne.
I just would like a point of clarification, Ed. Back in the nineties, the planning department did 62 units of new home ownership throughout the county. Of course, that's when we had 8 people on staff versus 2, so we have gotten away from that. I'm glad to see that the city's program is expanding beyond the city boundaries, because we still get a lot of calls about new home ownership programs, but we just have not been able to chase the money and administer it, so.
Great, well, thank you very much.
So noted.
Does anyone have anything else to add or enlighten? Can we have a motion to adjourn, from Supervisor Beatty, the land of milk and honey, and seconded from, the supervisor from Thurman, Supervisor Wood? Thank you.